And we begin tonight with that famous millionaire under arrest in a cold case 30 years in the making after a major twist in the case playing out on national television. Robert Durst, long suspected in the disappearance of his beautiful young wife, later suspected of murdering a friend in cold blood just weeks after the investigation into his wife was reopened. And then in a third case, acquitted even after admitting he killed a neighbor. Well, tonight, Durst under arrest in that orange jumpsuit, entering court, about to be extradited, charged with murder. After the HBO documentary, The Jinx, playing audio of Durst when the cameras were off, but the mic was still recording.
What the hell did I do? Kill them all, of course.
Tonight, Durst is behind bars in New Orleans as authorities reveal what they found on him when they arrested him. ABC's Matt Gutman leading us off.
Police say Robert Durst, led shackled into court today, was armed and dangerous when he was arrested on a first-degree murder charge more than a decade in the making. For 30 years, questions have swirled around his role in 3 mysterious deaths. His wife Kathleen vanishing in 1982. Then his friend and confidant Susan Berman murdered execution style in Los Angeles in 2000, just a month after an investigation into his wife's disappearance was opened. Then a year later, his Texas neighbor killed and dismembered. Durst claimed self-defense.
Not guilty.
And was acquitted. Now, this piece of audio.
What the hell did I do? Kill them all, of course.
What seems to be a stunning confession from the real estate millionaire. Caught on camera by HBO producers filming a documentary about his life, The Jinx, the life and deaths of Robert Durst. The filmmakers had just confronted Durst about similarities in his handwriting and that of an anonymous letter that alerted the LAPD that Susan Berman was dead.
And can you tell me which one you didn't write?
No.
Durst still mic'd, alone in the bathroom, muttering to himself.
There it is. You're caught.
The director, Andrew Jarecki, on Good Morning America, saying he turned the tape over to police months ago.
When we finally found that subsequent admission, what happens in the bathroom, we contacted them and we said, we have something more.
Then Saturday night, just a day before that episode was to air, Durst checked into this plush hotel in downtown New Orleans.
He came in here and he checked in under an alias. That name, Ward Everett. Police say they arrived here at about 7 p.m. that night. They arrested him. They said that he was in possession of a weapon, a Smith & Wesson .38.
Durst waiving his right to fight extradition, his attorney dismissing what some are calling that confession.
It was pretty slick. You probably get him an Emmy. Probably was very misleading, too.
David, sources are telling us that Durst is still here at this complex tonight. Now, we asked the LAPD about the uncanny timing of that arrest. They said that somebody watching the show called in an anonymous tip, and that tip led to Durst. David.
Matt Gutman, thanks to you. I want to bring in ABC's chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, with us here tonight. And Dan, a lot of people are going to say, that sounds like a confession, plain and simple. But can it be used against him?
Probably. The defense will likely argue it shouldn't be allowed into evidence. They will say that we can't trust this tape. We don't know where it was. It could have been manipulated. But those are probably losing arguments, and ultimately the jury will probably hear it.
You put that piece of audio aside, and you still have that moment with the letters, too.
I think it's actually more powerful than the audio tape. On the audio tape, I think he's going to own it. I think he's going to say, yes, I said it. But of course I didn't mean it. I knew they were listening. With the letter, boy, you look at those side by side, and it's hard to figure out exactly what he's going to say. Sure, he can call in a handwriting expert to dispute it, but jurors just look at those 2 items of evidence, and I think that's going to be big trouble.